How hard was it to decide to come back again and to have that opportunity?
Yeah, the decision to retire was very difficult, as it's a sport that I love very much, and I love the ethos and the vibe here to be the best that you can be. When it came to returning, really I sort of returned by accident. I went away and thought, that's it, I never will be able to return to elite racing again, and I started kayaking as exercise for health, which really was exercise, it wasn't training. And slowly over a few months I managed to build up that from moving towards a slightly higher intensity work when I was out kayaking. And my heart started to relax a bit, started to slow. It wasn't reacting quite so much when I was doing training. So my decision to come back at the start was slightly daunting, as you never quite know. I could have come back into the programme and fallen over after a couple of weeks. It's very different doing something outside of this elite intense programme compared to being in the programme. But to be honest, once I'd met with my team manager and the support I received from my team manager and my coaches to return, from the rest of the rowers here, was phenomenal, and that really sort of made me think, well, we're going to do this as a team and see where we can go with it.
And how surprised were you that your heart was, sort of getting stronger and, you were able to cope with the training? Yeah,
so I was very surprised, and as I say, I wasn't intending to return to training. It was purely the kayaking was exercise for health, and I'm not so much surprised, but whereas before, every time we tried a different way of training post-Beijing, every time I got sick. So when I came back into the programme, although my initial ergo scores were quick compared to what I'd been doing previously, I never struggled to really get too excited about it, because I always thought, well, I could wake up tomorrow and it all goes wrong. But to be honest, sort of looking at last week, where I did the most amount of minutes training that I've done probably in well over a year, and it was a huge relief if I wake up the next morning and I feel well, whereas before I would do sort of 20 minutes in the ergo and feel unwell. So it's quite, it is exciting times.
That's fantastic news, Helene. And in terms of sort of where you were in Beijing, in terms of your level of training, obviously, you've only just come back into it, but where would you say on a scale of 10, where are you at the moment?
To be honest, I'd say it's quite difficult to put it on a scale as such. In Beijing, I actually was ill already, and once I'd been diagnosed with a heart condition, we could look back to probably about February 2008 when really you could start to pinpoint something was wrong. And before Beijing, everyone said, oh, you're stressed. And so I kind of didn't do anything about it and just carried on training. And really, if I went to Beijing and I was unwell when I won in Beijing, the competition has moved on hugely since then. And of course, by New Zealand this year, I will have been training 3 months. So it is unrealistic to expect that I'll be back winning a gold medal this year. But really, it's a case of seeing how do I fare internationally with just 3 months training back in the programme. And also, I'm having to train slightly differently now. So how would that place me internationally as well? So really, it's a case of going out to myself, proving it hasn't beaten me. Hopefully, proving to other young people with heart conditions they still can go out and achieve something, and also proving that just really seeing where we are at the moment, where myself and my support team have managed to get the boat going.